A continual improvement process, also often called a continuous improvement process, is an ongoing effort to improve products, services, or processes. These efforts can seek incremental improvement over time or breakthrough improvement all at once. Delivery processes are constantly evaluated and improved in the light of their efficiency, effectiveness and flexibility. Some see CIPs as a meter process for most management systems. W. Edwards Deming, a pioneer of the field, saw it as part of the system whereby feedback from the process and customer were evaluated against organizational goals. The fact that it can be called a management process does not mean that it needs to be executed by management, but rather merely that it makes decisions about the implementation of the delivery process and the design of the delivery process itself. Kaizen. Some successful implementations use the approach known as Kaizen as a OE improvement. This method became famous from Imai's 1986 book Kaizen, The Key to Japan's Competitive Success. The core principle of CIP is the reflection of processes. The purpose of CIP is the identification, reduction, and elimination of suboptimal processes. The emphasis of CIP is on incremental, continual steps rather than giant leaps. Key features of Kaizen include, improvements are based on many small changes rather than the radical changes that might arise from research and development. As the ideas come from the workers themselves, they are less likely to be radically different, and therefore easier to implement. Small improvements are less likely to require major capital investment than major process changes. The ideas come from the talents of the existing workforce, as opposed to using research, consultants or equipment any of which could be very expensive. All employees should continually be seeking ways to improve their own performance. It helps encourage workers to take ownership for their work, and can help reinforce team working, thereby improving worker motivation. The elements above are the more tactical elements of CIP. The more strategic elements include deciding how to increase the value of the delivery process output to the customer and how much flexibility is valuable in the process to meet changing needs. In environmental management, the CIP concept is also used in environmental management systems, such as ISO 14000 and EMAS. The term continual improvement, not continuous improvement, is used in ISO 14000, and is understood to refer to an ongoing series of small or large-scale improvements which are each done discreetly, that is in a stepwise fashion. Several differences exist between the CIP concept as it is applied in quality management and environmental management. CIP in EMS aims to improve the natural consequences of products and activities, not the products and activities as such. Secondly, there is no client orientation in EMS-related CIP. Also, CIP in EMS is not limited to small, incremental improvements as in Kaizen, it also includes innovations of any scale. Continuous versus continual. In English language linguistic prescription there is a common piece of usage advice that the word continuous should be used for things that are continuous in a way literally or figuratively equal to the mathematical sense of the word, whereas the word continual should be used for things that continue in discrete jumps. When this distinction is enforced, it is more accurate to speak of continual improvement, and continual improvement processes than of continuous improvement, or continuous improvement processes. Meanwhile, for several decades it has been common usage in the linguistic corpus of business management to use the one set term, continuous improvement, to cover both graph shapes in an umbrella fashion. It is merely the way the word has been conventionally used in this context, in a common understanding that existed regardless of prescriptive preferences. However, ISO has chosen a more careful usage for its standards including ISO 9000 and ISO 14000. So it may be reasonable to expect that usage among business managers will evolve in coming decades to conform to the preferred usage. See also, perpetual beta, benchmarking, training within industry, ISO IEC 15504 for software development process management, references.